Tassels.
Boom! We are off with another episode of Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Alan Snyder, here with my boy, If Jesus Saves and Moses Invests, Zach Elias Drinks. What's up, buddy?
Sure do. How are you?
E2?
You too. Yeah.
You said?
Yeah. So.
Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. Tuesdays, we do it live. Saturdays, we post it later. Got a whole gaggle of episodes. If this is your first time, we welcome you. Make sure you give us a good rating, give us a good review, share the episode, and the next time you go to the movie theaters and you see some young 14-year-old kid cleaning up after you because you just spilled everything, tell them to listen to this podcast because we...
What movie theater did you just spill everything?
We like when people...
Oh, a soda.
We like when people love us, but we love when people hate us.
Yeah, we do.
Context? My 14-year-old nephew wants to get a job at the movie theater. I said, you're going to last 1 week. He goes, why? It doesn't seem that hard. I said, you're going to be cleaning toilets and cleaning up after people. He goes, nah, I'll be all right.
He probably will because he was riding shotgun for Uber Eats with his mom.
Got a great episode planned for tonight. But before we get into it, Zach, why don't you tell everybody what you are drinking?
From 6 Point Brewery, The Crisp. They called me that. Pills. Beer is culture. Cool. In ancient beer caves near the foot of the Alps. That's a lot of story. I'm drinking this thing. You?
I had been doing Georgia on my mind, but the way you leap the order is by giving me a present. And my lovely wife, from last week's Valentine's Day, my love language is IPA.
I pee daily.
Got a big old boy, 7% alcohol from the Little House Brewing Company out of North Haven, Connecticut. Shout out at your boy, Big Mike. Release a Kraken.
All right.
I assume that's...
What'd you give her for Valentine's Day? Give her a little boy?
I've been cooking her for her nonstop. Cheers, buddy.
L'chaim.
Tonight's episode came together kind of out of nowhere. I didn't realize this was a huge phenomenon this past weekend. Everybody I know participated, watching, talking about episode 269.
SNL 50? Oh, SNL. SNL 50.
I was really excited for the episode. I watched the red carpet before. Then the show started. Give me your thoughts.
I think it should have been the last show ever. I think they did a great job. They nailed it. They got everyone's best showing, everyone's best character. Everyone did their best and nailed it in. I think they could have just been farewell forever thereafter because everything that they're going to do like next week is going to be terrible. But the show itself was terrific. The musical guests were great. You know, Sabrina Carpenter and Weekend at Paul Simon's. He was like half dead, but it was all good.
Time to hang him up.
Lines of the Night with a gulf of Steve Martin, and when Julie Louis-Dreyfus said that the dog was blind, I was dying. And then Lovitz across the street. It was hysterical. I thought it was really well done, and it could have missed on so many ways.
Dead air.
For them. Your thoughts?
You were frozen for most of that, but that's okay.
Oh, yeah.
My original thoughts was, why don't they do this every year? This was the Super Bowl. I get you're not going to get everybody to come back. They didn't get everybody to come back this year. But if you do something like this, take the best sketches throughout the year, put in some funny people, make it a big event. I can't even suffer every week. I haven't watched SNL in probably 2 years now. I couldn't take my eyes off the screen. This show was incredible. Well, if anything, they did do a couple of the shticks they've had from this past year. The problem with SNL is it's not purely improv. It's written comedy, which then sometimes doesn't work. I think they should have minor leagues or at least do a trial run for some of the skits that they do. They need to work through and then see if they're any good to then put them on for the Saturday night because too many times it just doesn't work. But when you take the best of the best stuff,
it's the internet. You're killing the internet. Get off all devices.
It's really good. It was really, really good the way they did it. I loved it. Zach, I thought what you and I could do was we'd get together and do one of
our... Get off all your devices. Apple Watch off, iPad off, computer off. Why? Just do it.
Because we're glitching, bro.
We're glitching here. Yeah, I'm dying.
This is gonna be a great episode. we've done ranking episodes before.
Yeah.
We've done ranking episodes before. I thought we would go ahead and do our top 10 all-time cast members for SNL. And I had a tough time doing this. I hated my list. It took me a couple times to get through it. I think that means it's a good category. If we struggle to do this, then it means it's a good choice. Zach, you've done this many times. Explain to our fine viewers how we're going to roll. Wow, I might be doing this episode solo tonight.
I got nothing. I missed everything you just said.
We're going to be...
my Apple Watch and iPad off. I'm not turning the laptop off. It's charging.
Oh, my God.
It doesn't have to be off. It's fine.
Just turn it on airplane mode.
All right. Do you want to go back to your other computer? This is struggling. Working with a laptop from 1980. What are the cast the year your laptop of what came out was?
The laptop is fine, I think. I don't. Do you want me to just go to the other one? I can do this in one move.
All right. Zach's going to go ahead and jump to the other one. I'm going to just start this off. The way we usually rank people on this episode, it's a top 10. It's pretty basic. You're going to be counting down 10 to 1. There's too many. This list was so hard. I first went through, and I cheat a little bit. I did have some in my head, but I will go to Entertainment Weekly, TV Guide, top 10, top 100, top 50 SNL performers. I can then use that to figure out who I want. It was crazy how some of my best candidates were lower on their list. It was crazy that people they had high didn't even make my list, but I figured why not? How we looking there, baby boy?
No audio. I don't need headphones. It's just the internet then.
Okay.
I'm back.
You're back. Why don't you kick it off with your honorable mentions?
Okay. So like you said, I just Googled every cast member and I went through each one of them. I didn't do any rankings. I just Googled them all, like just a list. All right. Well, she gets me there. It does it for me. Vanessa Bayer. I thought she's just like her. I don't know. You frozen again? Yeah.
No, it's you,
Anyway,
buddy. I'm getting like
I know. I was sort of yelling at myself. So more to that, I didn't know how to rank this crew because I didn't see them. So I'm giving an honorable mention to the entire early cast. I don't know, I can't rank Belushi or Chevy or Bill Murray. They all want to do movies I loved. I didn't really watch them in SNL. I've seen their skits, but they were in reruns. So there was that. Another honorable mention to, and this is more of a respect honorable mention, Tina Fey and Amy Poehler together. Don't really know how to rank them. Their skits didn't really do it for me, but they were great head writers and writers together, and they did their thing. Okay. Now my 10. I don't know why. I always found her funny. I like when she did Judge Judy. Cherry O'Terry. I thought she was very funny. And I struggled with this category.
She made my short list. If anything, her Spartan stuff was good. I wanted to let you finish. We're basically going to have to let each other talk, which might be the first episode where you and I have ever done that. But Tina Fey, when Palin was a thing, she was much-watched television.
Oh, my God. This is insane. Go.
All right. My number 10. Oh, sorry. My honorable mentions. I don't remember Eddie Murphy being the best guy ever. I've seen some of his stuff. It was funny. He's legendary. He's incredible. Absolutely incredible. As an all-time SNL cast member, I don't know if he did it with me for the buckwheat stuff, but I had to put him in there. Keep it going. Andy Samberg does nothing for me. I don't find him funny. I saw 0 episodes of, what was that stupid show that he did with the Brooklyn Nine-Nine? Nothing.
Yeah,
that being said.
You who love Brooklyn Nine-Nine? Eric, your boy. These things.
The Lonely Island stuff, where they were able to make an album where you never were going to get Michael Bolton and Akon and all the celebrities if it wasn't for SNL. But Lonely Island, that album, which it was really, really good. So I did want to give him an honorable mention. He gets a lot of shit for it. What Jimmy Fallon used to break every sketch he was ever in, which I think they made fun of in Family Guy, it always made me laugh because he was genuinely laughing. It made me laugh. That being said, he did a Jared's Room where he was a fish head and they had fish on there. And that was one of my favorite sketches. But when he did him and Rachel Dratch, where they were the Boston people, I still can't say no ma without laughing out loud at that whole sketch. I thought it was so
I liked
funny.
her too. I didn't know where to rank her, but I like Rachel Dratch.
Honorable mention, but you can't say it now. But when they would look at each other and go, "You're retarded, you're retarded," and they make out, it was so fucking funny to have that mass whole thing. So I threw them on there, and then I couldn't put Kate McKinnon on my top 10. The one sketch where she gets abducted by aliens, it always made the
kills me.
It didn't do it for me. I know that the people would always break. Like
That
Ryan Gosling
killed me.
Gosling could never get through the whole thing. I know he was on it once or twice. Also, Kate McKinnon carried that show legit for 10 years. She was the only really, really talented person on that show and kept it going for a long time. So I did want to throw her on there. My number 10 is Dan Aykroyd. I don't remember watching the show when he was on it, but the fact that he had Coneheads, which I find that movie to be in my top 10. I absolutely love it. He also did Two Wild and Crazy Guys, which whenever you see Euro trash at a bar with the necklace, I say that.
Yeah.
I've seen 0 minutes of Blues Brothers, but I get that it's a thing. I had to put Aykroyd on my list, even though he's one of the only guys who didn't show up, and he's legit. He's Looney Tunes. He's crazy. That guy is crazy.
No, he's in my I don't know. Yeah, he is. They're all nuts.
Number 9.
So my 9, and he's the funniest guy in the world. But again, I came very late to. I was young for him. It's the same reason you. It's Eddie Murphy. I know he's the greatest of all time on the show, or he's one of. I just sort of missed it, which is the same reason I sort of missed the, early cast. So when you look at my thing, it's going to be from 90s on. Obviously. But I sort of missed Eddie Murphy. But I know he was great, and the stuff that I've seen is hysterical. But I didn't see it when it was on. So I didn't get to watch, and I didn't get to laugh anew. I laughed at stuff other people were already laughing at. Go on.
My 9, I'm surprised he made this. But he didn't have that big of a career afterwards. He should never be a stand-up performer because I wasted money seeing him recently in Hawaii when I got married, not the sham marriage that you ended up doing. Chris Kattan made my 9 only because Mr. Peepers, if I ever see anybody holding an apple with 2 hands, all I can think of is they're going to do one of those. If anybody ever asked for anything mango related, always, you can't have the mango. Without fail,
I'm just mango.
You can, and then I will turn around and give the little on the tush.
He was good.
Night at the Roxbury, which I have Will Ferrell on my list. That was all Kattan. He was the guy. Will Ferrell's just the other guy. That was all. They made a movie. Also, that movie probably the best SNL movie.
Movie is hysterical. It's Molly Shannon's great in it too. And they're all good. Dan Hedaya kills that movie.
And
what?
Not that this really should count because I don't want to give people props for anything because there are movies they did after. But when I go into a grocery store and there's a Girl Scout, I always say, "Do you guys want some cookies?" From Corky Romano is Pee Your Pants funny. I don't know how Chris Kattan made my list. Not to mention, he's got a real weird neck thing kind of going. He looks a little creepy. He may be Smeagol or at least Gollum. Chris Kattan's do the math on this. I just named 4 things. You're like, yeah, those are all really good.
Yeah. I didn't want to put him on because, it's Chris Kattan. I don't know how I did. He's good, though. Yeah, he's good.
Number 8.
All right. My number 8, Daryl Hammond. Daryl Hammond used to kill me. Still does. Clinton, Gore, Trump, Sean Connery. Oh, he was incredible. Great impressionist. There you go.
My number 8, Daryl Hammond.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird. Yeah, Hartman did a...
Go get him, Tiger.
Hartman did a Bill Clinton, and there's some other ones. Daryl Hammond's Bill Clinton is one of the best. And I was in college right when the internet and YouTube was really starting to cook. The Penis Miter... The Rapist for 500. There even was something that went viral this past winter where it said, "Let it snow," but it was broken up. And
Anal Bum cover was great.
I read in my head this meme where I said, let it snow, Trebek, just back and forth. And again, I have Farrell on my list. That was all Daryl Hammond. It was all Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Right?
And honestly, the others were great too, which I've also got on my list. Playing Burt Reynolds. Come on. We'll get to him later. All right, my up. This again might be post-career because he was only on SNL for like a minute. Every time this guy is on screen, I laugh my ass off. He doesn't matter what he's doing. I laugh my ass off. John Lovitz might be the funniest man in the world.
You're crazy.
John Lovitz to me he kills me. Everything he does makes me laugh.
You're stupid. You're gonna look back on this and wonder why I didn't put barbecue sauce, or I didn't put
what?
You're gonna look back on this and realize,
painful.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. You're gonna look back on this and realize why I didn't put mustard on my list for dipping sauces. John Lovitz is name the funniest thing he's ever done. Anything.
Anything he does is funny. He doesn't have to do anything. Just everything he does is funny. Everything he says is funny. He makes you laugh.
Okay.
What do you got? You're painting your masterpiece. What do you got there, Picasso?
I've defended every single thing I've done here. My number 7 should eat. You got somewhere to be?
No.
His career is going to be defined by all his great movies. Some people say we even resemble each other a little bit, but Adam Sandler, when he was on SNL, he wasn't even the main, probably even the top 4 guys. But all the songs he did, between the Hanukkah song, the Thanksgiving song, Lunch Lady, which was his song, you have the Opera Man, which that always made me laugh. And what I really wanted to bring up was the Gap Girls that he used to do. I thought he was one of the funnier ones, even though Farley would steal the scene. And also you had Canteen Boy, which somehow that sketch is... Why wasn't that skit brought up when Alec Baldwin shot that guy? Like, that is one of the creepiest skits ever. And what I didn't realize, Alec Baldwin was also in a Gap Girls sketch hitting on Adam Sandler as a Gap Girl. 2 SNL skits where Alec Baldwin was creeping on a young person. Iconic, although none of that stuff cracks.
Both were Sandler.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Both Sandler. None of that stuff cracks his movies. He's not going to remember for any of this stuff. 6.
Yeah. What number are we on? 6?
6.
Sandler. Same reasons. 6 is Sandler for me.
I hear you.
Same reasons.
You're not on delay. I hear you. Anything else you want to add? I feel bad taking it.
No.
Do you anything else to add?
No, he's just his music puts him as a different style of talent. He's both funny and musical. He's got a rare sort of gift that he's more versatile than others.
My number 6 is like your. My number 6 is like your. My number 6 is like your John Lovitz. Why don't you put your headphones on? Then you'll hear me instead of the delay. Just saying.
What's the difference if the headphones are on? There's just computer audio.
There's still a second gap there. Anyways.
Is there?
Wow.
Fine.
I hope everybody enjoyed our last show. You guys have
it.
Who's watching right now? Amanda, Tanta Marlene. My mother's never watched a single episode of SNL. And Marlene, I've seen every episode. That's bad. Ron Katz drinking red wine on the Upper West Side. Love it. Love it. Okay. Do you hear me, Paul? Do you hear me? Okay, cool.
I hear you.
My number 6. It's a lot clearer for me. My number 6 is very much like your John Lovitz. Norm only did the Weekend Update. I still read stuff like Norm is saying it.
Stuff too. He did
on SNL.
Yeah.
Again, he did the Burt Reynolds, which I think
good.
His skits were good, but now it's remembered. But Norm Macdonald, you can still put a meme up. You can write any joke, and it's going to be funnier picturing him doing it. Norm's an all-timer, and I know you and I, we love Dirty Work, but altogether, I don't think his body of work is as good. His stand-up is hard to get through. Hard. And he's a stand-up comedian. Norm is my 6.
Yeah. Okay.
Number 5.
5. Dana Carvey. Good sidekick. He was very funny. Church Lady honestly didn't do it for me as much as the others. But like, just some of his other Garth is incredible. His Bush was #1 president. It just was. In fact, that they actually had him with Bush making prank calls to guys in the Secret Service, and they're coming in like getting him stuff, and his Bush is rolling.
Well, isn't that special?
Talent. Yeah.
Dana Carvey's my number 4. Church Lady, I thought was fun, not funny. Wayne's World might be the one sketch where
Ron Katz is angry about Dana Carvey.
Dana Carvey was the guy. I mean, I know that was kind of right after, but I had heard stories that they used to write stuff just to try to get him on. Kevin Nealon made my short list simply because I want to pump you up. Hans and Franz. Whenever I see any of my patients in all gray sweats, Hans and Franz is good, but they used to write sketches because they knew if they made it for Dana Carvey is truthfully one of the bigger flops that ever came from SNL. Him on Wayne's World, he was the sidekick that Mike Myers wrote into that. And then Master of Disguise has one line in it. The rest of the movie's unwatchable. And I don't think you and I can name another thing he's done since then. Anything?
No.
Exactly.
Cameos here and there.
Yeah. And hold on, one more thing. It's Hans and Franz. Oh, not only was the HW great, but he did Ross Perot in the same election. I was so young. I was 8, 9 years old. It was so fucking funny. I always like to think of these SNL cast members like a stock. If you could go back and Dana Carvey, you could put money on somebody, he would have been put all your chips on him. This guy's going to be the biggest person ever. And he wasn't. But at the time, that's my number 4. It was somebody. I just kept creeping on my list. Kept creeping. As an SNL cast member.
During the thing when Sarah Sherman did Bloomberg, and Mulaney goes, terrific impression, by the way. And just left. She's so bad at it. He killed her. He roasted her. Oh, it was great.
So
what are we up to? My 4?
No. So that I have a 5. This was another one. And Zach Elias says, funny as a male, Gene. It kept creeping. Some of the best sketches that never went anywhere, but the highest ranking female on my list. She always reminded me of Tante Marlene. Maybe it's just their fake nose or how it is. But Molly Shannon, between Mary Catherine Gallagher, she did a way before its time Courtney Love impression. Courtney Love was one of the biggest train wrecks of our generation. If that was 2025, she would be way higher on the death pool and maybe dead, in the news all the time. She did Natalie Wood, which still makes me laugh when you see Natalie Wood. That got me. Dog Show? I can't not. Dog Show. But they brought it back for the SNL 50, but the Sally O'Malley, I kick, I lunge, and I kick. Okay, does absolutely nothing for you. Her star went nowhere, but the Mary Catherine Gallagher with the...
He's my Cherry O'Terry.
Okay. All right, that was my 5.
Yeah, it went nowhere.
I did 4.
She was in Only Murders this year. She was funny.
She's been in everything. They keep
my
throwing
4
her
is Will
bone.
Ferrell. Yeah, my 4 is Will Ferrell. You could tell right away that this guy was the star. This guy was going places. And everything he's done after has been just gold. He was funny in the show. He was funny in The Spartans. He was funny in everything he did. He was goofy and gangly and not afraid to be physical. He was 4.
You got my Duke. Will Ferrell's my number 1. Do you want me to do it now or wait till the end?
Really?
Yeah. It's my number 1.
I'm stopping you.
I have to quote something I read on the internet. People don't do impersonations of Harry Carey. People do impersonations of Will Ferrell doing Harry Carey. It's still great. The dying art of the baseball guy. Even when we watch the SNL 50 on YouTube TV, it was an icon of a cowbell. It's the most famous sketch that's ever been on that show. And him being in it made it ridiculous. Will Ferrell had a huge advantage. And I think this may go for all the males on the show. But when you put a ridiculous bearded mustache, anything on these, it always makes it a little funnier. And Gene, as he is in that sketch.
He's also 8 feet taller than everyone else.
The height happened, the shirt being up. I love the Spartan stuff with him and Sherry O'Terry, which he was half of it. It wasn't just one, it wasn't the other. I also like the Culps. I didn't know what they were ever called, but when they do that Amish song, that remaking stuff, I'm a sucker for a new version of an old song. And then Roxbury he was in, Jeopardy he was in, but the best sketch, the part he was built to play way before my time, when he was Janet Reno during the Monica Lewinsky scandal, which was the biggest thing of our life.
It's Reno time. Janet Reno's dance party was incredible.
Janet
Reno's dance party, you're right. Maybe he should be higher on my list.
Right? The Janet Reno thing, we don't have anything even like Damar Hamlin dying is the closest thing to Janet Reno. Was so good. And there's a million other things he was in. I feel bad that he's only really ever done one or two serious things. He'll never be remembered as good as he should. And he's never had the blockbuster, even though Old School was good. He was never in the Jim Carrey, Adam Sandler sphere. But Will Ferrell, back then, the cast was good. But yeah, the younger generation likes Step Brothers now, but it doesn't rank up there for me. It's still really good. And Step Brothers was like 15 years ago, dude. It was a long time. All right, that was my one. You owe me a 4, or was that your 4?
That was my 4. You owe me a 4.
My 4 was Dana Carvey. You owe me a 3.
Oh God! All right, I'm re-ranking these as I go. I think my 3 is Chris Farley. No, you know what? Yeah, because I said his name already. It was I re-ranked him from 2 to 3. Whatever. It's a fluid list. It's Farley. You knew he was going to do it a ton. Again, another guy not afraid to take his shirt off. The thing with him and Swayze was incredible. Chippendales, the beer with Sandler. He was great. The beauty of Farley is that you think Jimmy Fallon broke? He would break everybody. Lorne hated, and there was a sketch with him because he knew he would break people. He wasn't in it enough. I don't know. He's my 3 now. He was my 2.
Farley was my 2, and I went back and forth between him and Will Ferrell. You nailed it with the Chippendales. You forgot, still to this day, Da Bears, which the sketch is great. They call them Da Bears.
Da Bears was great. Absolutely
love that. My favorite thing he ever did, which people don't realize they fanboy a little too much, and this was way before its time, but I don't know what it was called. When he used to do hey, remember when you were on that show and then this thing happened? Yeah, that was pretty cool. That would be me meeting any celebrity right now. Like, I have dreams of being more than I am right now and running into anybody. I told you, the one time I met my idol, I told him he was doing a good job. That's what I said, because people do that. It was so funny. It was so smart. The other thing that I wanted to talk about with male performers on SNL being funnier, putting makeup on a man makes it funnier, and putting a dress on Gap Girls, and when he
I'm starving. Anytime someone's hungry, they say,
I miss lunch. Also, when he was the lunch lady, when Sandler performed Lunch Ladyland, the song is still great, but a man putting on a dress, funny. Woman putting on a suit, it doesn't do anything
just Hillary Clinton. Yeah.
So, I forgot about Kate McKinnon and Hillary Clinton. Maybe I want to put that. Nah, she's still an honorable mention. Farley was my 2. You do 2 and 1.
Who's your 3?
But I'm done. I don't want to be out of bullets.
Oh, so all right. Then I'm gonna go with Norm and Mike Myers
as your
2-1.
2-1. All right, tell me about Norm.
Yeah. Norm was hysterical. I mean, his cadence was incredible. If there's any SNL character who speaks in just a similar way that I do, is closest to Norm. Just like the sort of misdirect, just the way his mind sort of worked, the setup, but the punchline is somewhere way off in left field. And you guess that Frank Stallone can just go any single time. And when he would mess up and he cursed on TV, he just didn't care. Next week, after he said fuck, he goes, oh, drats. He was just great. He was so weird, so irreverent, ballsy as could be. No, he was great.
The story I've heard about other podcasters or comedians that tell about him, just like you said, he literally didn't give a fuck. Zach, you and I, we constantly say we really don't care about any of this. Guess what? We do. Even deep down, or anyway, he did not care about anything. He got fired over an OJ joke because he would not stop. I think I brought this up on the podcast, but anybody's ever heard. He has a legendary story where he would just go and bomb and people would leave. He went to the back exit and shook their hands for coming. He did not give a fuck. Norm is great, and every time I see anything these days, great, absolutely great.
Apparently, he was like the nicest guy in the world too.
So
he's a really good person too.
He's your 2?
Yeah.
And your number 1 is
Mike Myers.
Why?
Kill me. Why? His characters were incredible, for the most part. You know what this is. So Wayne's World, terrific. Dieter, unbelievable. Now is the time when Sprockets would be dance. Kicked in the testicles. That was a gallery. Oh my God. But the one. Linda Richman may be my favorite character of all time. Now, the Simon in the Bathtub with Danny DeVito was okay. It wasn't greatest, but it was pretty good. But Linda Richman. Coffee talk. Whenever like we have to do vocabulary work with my daughter, it's like, and give like a conjunction. It's always nor. Something think nor this is that. Discuss. I will use nor at random times. Anytime as an example, like I'll say discuss, talk amongst yourself. Verklempt, amazing. Butter, Mike Myers kills me. Anything he was in, and he's notoriously difficult. He's supposedly impossible.
Okay.
Apparently during Austin Powers 2, they had to reshoot the whole thing because the audio was slightly.
Wow, that was having the audio off. That I can't understand why that would be difficult for anybody.
Before the next one, I'm unplugging my modem and plugging it back in. I'll figure this thing out.
Yeah, no, that's not what's going to happen. But okay, cool.
I'm on fire. Dancona's coming back.
For me, Mike Myers was my 3, and you could make the argument for any cast member we have on our list, probably the best body of work on the show and best body of work after. Wayne's World, both movies. You have, not to mention I live with a Cambodian, so half Cambodian. You have Zing Hai Bin Dua. I should watch that movie with my mother-in-law and see what they're actually saying. That would be something fun. Just realizing that. Austin Powers, and the reason why he does nothing is because he made Shrek money. I don't know what that is, but it's a lot of money.
A lot of money.
The coffee talk, like butter, they used that on SportsCenter. It became a catchphrase. Here's where you're right. Here's where you're wrong times 2. 1, I thought Sprockets was one of the worst sketches that was ever on the show. Terrible. It was a worse version of De Bruno. It's stupid. I don't get it.
Before Bruno.
I understand.
So Bruno's doing Sprockets.
It's not funny. I never got it. And then the look. That being said, whenever I meet anybody, and especially little kids, they always draw stuff. I was like, oh, are those your drawings? Little kids suck at drawing, and I do not care. Okay. My son brings home so much goddamn artwork. I have pictures of the teachers putting his hand on the stuff. Oh, Milo, great job, dude. It's all crap. I'm going to save everything because he's my best friend in the world. But it's all crap. Kids make dreck. But the best part, you realize that when Simon would do those drawings, that he had a window in it because every picture he drew, because he traveled with his dad, he always was in a hotel room. Like, it was parenting at its finest. I thought it was fucking genius. Yeah. Mike Myers, my 3. Are we through this list?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow. All right. Is there something you desperately want to bring up before we move on? Because this has been.
It's been rough. I have quirkies, but.
Anything timely? Anything timely?
Florida boy left permanently damaged after being wrapped in tape by dad.
What type of tape?
Duct.
Duct.
Apparently.
With a T.
Yeah.
All right. That dad's going to jail.
Probably. Yeah. There's a mugshot and everything of them.
All right.
Picture of the kid wrapped, though, but there is a mugshot of the father.
He looks like a cocoon. You don't need a picture.
Why do you need a picture? It's a mummy.
If it was Scotch tape and the goal is to figure it out, is that just trial? Is that toughening your kid up? Is that any different than letting him cry it out?
I don't think the type of tape matters all that much. Was painter's tape any better?
Well, what tape could you think you could get out of? Because even taller tape.
None as an 8-year-old.
Like, if I wrapped you in TP, which we just went to Costco and have a ton of, do you think you get out?
It's not tape, though. If you wrap me in masking tape or Scotch tape or packing tape, I'm not getting out. It feels like an 8.
Okay.
I don't know. I got a bunch of things, but if this is pretty painful.
This is pretty fucking bad. But if there's something timely, then go for it.
None of them are timely.
I can just title next week Jerks Quirks, and you get to talk for 30 minutes.
I don't have 30 minutes worth of crap, but A mother gave birth in the W train. And that sounds pretty fucking awful.
There were 2 kids. Would it be better if it was the F?
No, it's a D. No, just giving birth in the train sounds like one of the worst experiences ever.
People are very kind.
Wait.
Julia passed out on a train once, and people were giving up their water. People were very nice on that fucking subway. That city sucks. People are really nice.
All right. Well, the rest of them can wait.
The rest of them can wait. Mine cannot. Are you Pishadoo of the week? I got 9 candidates. I think I have gold, absolute fucking gold. So we'll see what you pick for this. Candidate number 1. I don't know if this is real. It has to be real because you can't make up numbers, but I guess the president can. You know, he's cracking down on Social Security. They want numbers. He released records today of how many people are receiving Social Security, breaking it down by age. I'll just go to the one that killed me the most. There are 1,039 people between the ages of 220 years old and 229 receiving Social Security.
Yeah, apparently he and Elon made those numbers up.
Are they really fake?
Yeah, apparently they think they're real, but apparently they just made them up.
Oh, okay. I do know he's cracking down. I was also going to bring up Social Security. The head person just stepped down because they don't want to release the numbers of whatever. Do they not realize the next asshole is going to do? You're not dying with these information.
No, the next guy's going to just put them everywhere.
Or we'll put our own guy in there. I didn't understand. Do they just not want to be the person who gets caught? Nah.
I would, if I had one of those jobs, I would do everything I wanted me to do. No, I care.
Did you see the University of Illinois? They retired jerseys the other night for senior night. And as they hang the jersey for TSJ, I have no idea who this is. It was completely upside down. So the jersey goes up and the whole big banner is the athletic director had to come out and apologize and everything. How does that happen? Because somebody actually went down and put the hooks in and you had to look at it. It wasn't rolled up or anything.
I'm sure they did a dry run.
No.
Make sure the pulleys work and stuff.
No way.
You don't think they did a dry run before the game? That's insane to not do. I would have.
I just assume you're hooking it up to the bottom and you can see the letters being. This is not something where you're doing it backwards and then magically you turn it around.
No, I would do a dry run to make the pulley work. What if it was on snag? It takes 4 seconds to do it at 4 o'clock. Then it's done. Then you just lower it and it's all done.
The WWE killed Owen Hart. I don't think that they're doing dry runs of any of this.
Okay. Next.
Did you see the story that some idiot tourist tried to take a selfie with a shark? Do you know what happened?
Both hands. It was on my list.
Why do people care?
I wish it was more. This is a Darwin Award.
It's pretty bad. I guess what I've learned in my social media experience, when I post stuff, it surprises me how you'll post a picture of something and it gets 0 traction. And then other things, which I find stupid, sometimes I post and boom, we're off to the races. Some story about this. I really hope that this person posts a picture. Them losing their hands, they got what they wanted. They got their viral shot.
I want hooks.
Both of them?
Yeah.
They scared me. I went to a summer camp growing up with a guy who had one hook. I actually have no idea why it was like that. He was a really nice guy. It always.
I think you have to go fork and knife.
You don't want a spork in one? You have to go spork and knife. If you're losing both hands, spork, knife.
Spork and knife is good.
I'll be here all week.
Kramer said he wanted shoehorn hands.
Disney is updating the It's a Small World ride to add a lost verse that was in the song that they're putting at the end. I haven't been to Disney in forever. The Small World thing creeps me out to this day. Let it die.
The ride's not great.
Just put Moana. Put some more You're Welcome at the end of it. Give me some Finding Nemo. I don't care.
We went the year before they changed Splash Mountain into the Princess and the Frog. So when Zoe gets off the show, I was like, I want to go see Song of the South. Oh, boy. And you can't find it anywhere unless you buy it from some shady redneck on DVD or VHS. It's off streaming. It crossed my mind. Like, it is a classic.
Denmark wants to buy California. This story is great.
Yeah, go. Do it.
The fact that they think it's for sale, sure, okay, because I know our president's like, I'm going to buy this. We're going to rename that, which has already happened. Denmark wants to buy it. Why don't they just treat this like the Green Bay Packers did, where you can buy a share of the team? Yeah. Hey, Denmark, we'll send you 10,000 shares of California. Well, what does that come with? Absolutely nothing. You get nothing, but you can say you own 10,000 Californians.
Or you get whatever asshole lives in that area. You can deal with him. You can buy shares in Scotland. I know someone who's a former lady. You know her too?
I've seen that ad. It's not worth it. You want to be a lord? Maybe I'll do that. You want to buy a lord?
I know someone who did. Lady Margaret. You know her. She's
I know who you're talking about. I don't know the brand. It might just be Igloo, the brand, but this made all types of news this past week. They had to recall 1 million coolers because it had a tiny problem. People were losing fingers from part of the cooler when they would carry it. Doesn't this seem like a very easy solution? If you're a cooler company, you go to a college, maybe the College of Charleston. Hey, guys, here are X amount of coolers. Go test them out. Let me know if you lose any appendages.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to do. Or just go buy a Thule.
Amputations.
It's insane.
Again,
the guillotine cooler?
People losing body parts. Like if you get a scratch or two, a Delta flight's upside down. Oh no, I hit my head.
I've never been injured by a cooler in my life, and I've got significant cooler experience.
Mineral time. This story, I guess, is not the biggest one, but it's something I think is really great. A guy went really crazy on Twitter. His Uber driver, his Uber Eats driver pulls up with his food. He looks at the app. It's a lovely woman of brown color wearing a hijab that's going to be bringing his food. Well, he looks on his Ring camera on his phone, and it's a lovely brown man bringing his food. He's all types of worried. Food gets dropped off. He's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. What's happening? The internet destroys him. Going, dude, maybe she was sick and this is his husband. This is the least problem ever. Would you eat the food? Would you be bothered?
If the driver was a different person?
Yes. Of your food. Huh. Food's right. Order's right. Different driver.
I don't know. No, I probably would eat the food. But now that I think about it, maybe I shouldn't have eaten the food.
You think this is their plan?
Maybe. It's diabolical if it is. I don't know.
Celebrating Valentine's Day this past week, some company started making black kernel popcorn, where it's called Better Off Single Popcorn for those who are single or been through a breakup and they want to buy a present for themselves. I'm an adult. You're an adult. If you want something, just go buy it. Who cares?
Yeah, you don't dildo you want. You don't
get
need to
whatever
buy
you want.
with it.
Oh, I'm broken up. I got black. I did used to use that line a lot when I was dating, and you would just go on the worst date ever. You would just say, I'm better off single. Like, I can't sit through that ever again. But to celebrate your singleness by buying a present for yourself, I think is one of the most thirsty, desperate things ever.
Yeah, it's not good.
But my number one, never thought I'd be talking about Mandy Moore so closely to the wildfires. Never thought I'd be bringing up Mandy Moore and the wildfires. But her in-laws, whose house is burnt to ashes, had ordered something on Amazon, and the Amazon driver showed up to the house, put the box down, and left the delivery in front of their house. Ashes in the background. I only wish the driver had taken the picture to show that the delivery was made. How does this guy with any conscience deliver this?
I don't know.
I tell you, it doesn't make any sense. I get like you're doing your job and your job says this package, this house, here it is. I'll send you the picture. She went off.
I'm sure she's crazy.
Is she the face of the LA wildfires?
The face of the LA wildfire Karens, yeah.
This is a Karen. This is not a Karen situation, Zach. The house is burnt to a crisp and the person delivered the package.
Like, it is job.
I rang the doorbell. Bing bong.
How is he supposed to know where she's currently residing? He's going to track her down. She'd accuse him of being a stalker. You can't win.
Social Security head steps down thinking they're not going to get blamed. Illinois athletic director apologizes because they raised a banner with the jersey upside down. Tourist loses finger trying to get a selfie with the shark. Disney adding another verse to the Small World ride. Denmark wants to buy California. Igloo recalls 1 million coolers because it's cutting off appendages. Uber driver was the wrong guy. I wouldn't have had a problem. Didn't seem any big issue. Break up popcorn to celebrate your own gift. And Mandy Moore, Amazon package in front of a burnt down house for in-laws. Before you answer, is this not the greatest list I've ever had? Those are all really good.
It's pretty good. I don't care so much about the Uber guy, but I think it's the shark. I think it's the guy who gets the selfie with the shark. Idiot! What an idiot! And he's lost both his hands. The banner guy is the worst day, but at least he gets to go home with his hands. It's the shark guy.
Booze Your Day, the podcast. Thanks for listening to tonight's episode. We did an episode and it was fine. Zach, it's official. March the 4th, Andrew Schul's Life Tour on Netflix. You may recognize somebody in the third row.
Cool. Was it good?
Yeah, I told you when I saw it. It was fantastic. I laughed a lot.
Okay.
You'll laugh.
How's the post-production?
Didn't work on it. We were just there for free.
Even better.
We out.
All right. Bye-bye.